art friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with yet again another episode of Create This Book 3. It's been a while since I did one of these, so I'm really excited to show you guys what I created this week. I made 4 different prompts in this book, so if you are interested in seeing what I created, then just keep on watching. Alright, so the first prompt I chose to tackle this week says, create a screenshot. Document a text conversation from your phone. Now, the group message has been going off lately about Labubus, and so I had to document this discourse because I have a lot of strong feelings about it. So if you don't know what Labubus are, I'm jealous of you. But basically, they are a type of blind box figurine that looks like a little creepy demonic monster, and for some reason people are obsessed with them. They think that they're really cute, and all I have to say is I love little trinkets and I love blind boxes. I love collecting things. I'm not against that. But the Labubus are so ugly. Like, I don't understand why everybody is freaking out about them. But my friends love Labubus. So in this text conversation, my friend asks, how do you guys feel about Labubus? I said, I don't really get the hype, to be honest. And then another one of my friends says, OMG, I'm obsessed. I need one. I then argue back that I can't think that they're cute. And then one of my friends says that they are scary cute, and then the other friend says they're ugly cute, and my response is, yeah, exactly, ugly cute. I just feel like there's other blind boxes I like better. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I do like the little plush design of the Labubus. I like some other series that have been doing these kind of plush stuffed keychains. I love keychains. I used to be the kid with like 1 million keychains on my backpack as a kid. So I like all of that, but the face of these things is just creepy to me. It has no redeeming qualities. That is my opinion on the matter. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I bet a lot of you guys do like Labubus, or maybe you don't even know what they are, but people are selling their lives away for these creepy little figurines, and I don't think it's worth it. So here is the finished drawing of the Labubu conversation, and we will be moving on to the next drawing. The next prompt I chose to do says, create an I Spy page. Hide different items in a chaotic scene. Include an I Spy search. So I got a little stumped at first about this one, but then I was thinking about what is a chaotic scene where I can't find anything. And yes, that probably would be my entire home, but I also was thinking about my classroom, which I have not been in for a little while because I'm on summer break. But my classroom is one of the most chaotic places in my daily life. I spend all of my time cleaning it up, and then my students destroy it, and then I clean it up again, and then it gets destroyed again, and it's just this never-ending process. And one of the things that I find around my classroom every day while I'm cleaning it is pencils. The one thing you should know about the art room is that we never have pencils. Everybody steals my pencils, but we also always have at least 10 pencils on the floor. So if my students can't find a pencil, sometimes I will literally tell them to look on the floor, because I spend half of my day just picking up abandoned pencils on the floor. So I decided to recreate a picture of the corner of my classroom. After I drew everything, I added some pencils all over the floor for somebody to spy. I wish that my students would spy the millions of pencils and other things on the floor, but they're just blind to it, and I'm usually the one picking up all of the pencils. So, just a little quick recap of my classroom, though. I have these lovely wooden closets here that I can store so much stuff in. I'm so grateful to have these in my new classroom. I also have what we call the early finisher activity station. So in this area, I usually supply students with like some games or books relating to art. We usually have some free drawing materials there. Of course, I have to have my art careers poster, which shows some of the many jobs that you can get being an artist. And we also have some plushies because I love anything cozy in my classroom. I feel like classrooms can be very cold and uninviting very quickly, so I like to put some fun little things around the room just to make it feel a little bit more homey and inviting. So yeah, after I colored everything in, I put down the pencils, like I said, and I decided to add some text that says, "I spy 5 pencils," as if I was yelling it out to the students. And of course, nobody is picking them up, but that's okay. I love my students. I actually really miss them already. It's only been like a week of summer and I'm already missing them, so this was kind of just a reminiscent drawing of the school year. Moving on to prompt number 3, I chose the page that says create relaxation. Do something that relaxes you for 20 minutes. Document the experience. So one thing that I like to do at the end of the day to relax is play video games with my boyfriend. I have recently gotten more into gaming over the last couple of months. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a gamer girl, but I do really enjoy games with a strong storyline, allow you to solve puzzles and choose responses that determine the outcome of your fate, things like that. And one of my favorite games to play is called Life is Strange. My boyfriend and I have played a lot of these games together, and the newest Life is Strange is called Double Exposure, and I had not played it before, neither had my boyfriend. We saw that it got kind of mixed reviews, so we have been putting off playing it for a while, but we gave it a fair shot, and we played it. Here are my takes. So the gameplay was relatively fun. I did like the animation style. I just think that the game felt like a little bit rushed. I don't like that they didn't put a lot of thought into like Max's outfits in the game. I don't really think that the plot made a whole lot of sense in the end. Like, I was asking my boyfriend a lot of questions while we were playing this game, and mind you, I do that normally because I have ADHD and I just question everything that I'm watching because I keep forgetting what's happening. But this game specifically, I thought it was just me, but when we finished the game, I was so confused, and I looked online and other people also felt that way, so I guess it wasn't just me that kind of didn't even really understand what happened at the end of this. So I think the ending put a bad taste in my mouth. It was just like a weird ending. And another thing that rubbed me the wrong way about this game was that there is an expansion pack that I believe was $20. And the only thing you would get with that is that Max, the main character, has a pet cat. And like, I'm all about cats. You know me. I love my girl Scribbles. I'm a cat lady all the way. But I'm not going to pay $20 to have Max have a cat in the game. I don't feel like that's a fair price to put on such a minimal addition to the game. So, needless to say, we did not pay for the cat because the game was already expensive enough. It sounds like I did not relax while playing this game, but it actually was kind of relaxing. I think playing games usually is kind of a relaxing experience for me. And like I said, there were aspects of the game that I did enjoy, but the ending really just kind of ruined it for me. But for this drawing, I drew basically the cover of the new game where Max is in 2 pictures, 2 Polaroid pictures, and she's got her arms stretched out, and she looks like she's about to do some little Max magic. This was really difficult for me to draw because A, portraits are tricky, but B, hands are so difficult for me to draw, and I had to draw like foreshortened limbs in this picture, so it is definitely not completely accurate to the real image that I was copying, but I feel like for my lack of skill drawing hands, I did okay with them. They look in a relatively natural position, but yeah, don't be too harsh judging me on the hands. I know hands are not my strong suit. But I do actually really like how this turned out in the end. I think it's still a pretty cute set of pages, and this is the finished drawing. For the last prompt this week, I chose the prompt that says, create with. Draw something with extremely wide lines. So I guess I was really just on my trinket game this week because the first thing that popped into my head for wide lines was shelving. And what do I put on shelves? Trinkets. I decided to draw 2 large shelves going across the pages. They're not perfectly even, so don't come for me. But on the shelves, I decided to put some of my favorite blind box characters. And starting off, we have a little Sunny Angel. These are the first blind box characters I ever collected. I actually started collecting these a few years ago with 2 of my friends. When we went to New Jersey, we discovered them at a little Japanese store. And I had seen them online previously, and so I freaked out and was like, oh my god, I need to buy these. And needless to say, after buying a couple and then opening them in the car, my friends and I had to immediately go back into the store and buy more. So I was like pretty much hooked immediately. But I don't really collect them as much anymore because I feel like so many other cute characters have come out since. So the next figurine that I am coloring in is a skull panda. This series here, the Warmth series, is probably my favorite just because all of the characters have this really nice glossy finish on them and everything's very soft and like angelic. So I drew one of the ones that I do not have from this series just because I thought it was really cute. So it's a little girl holding a potted plant and she has these adorable little rain boots on and these little overalls. And it was kind of hard to draw this with just my acrylic paint markers because it's all very off-white toned and I wanted to make sure that the contrast kind of came through correctly. So I did the best I could with this one. The next figure that I drew was Baby Zora. Baby Zora is a blind box figurine that I do not have yet. But she is from the brand, I believe it's called TNT Space. I have one of their other blind box dolls called Dora, and that's probably my favorite of all the blind box figures. I didn't include one of those here because the one that I have is a keychain, so it wasn't on a shelf for me to draw. But I really want a Baby Zora, so that's why I drew one here. So I don't have this figurine, but she's just so cute with her little fang teeth and her little chubby face, and she's got these cat ears on. I don't know, I just love this figurine. I really want one. The next figurine that I drew was from my all-time favorite series, even though I just said Dora was my favorite. I think Peach Riot takes the cake for my favorite series. Here we have my favorite character from the Peach Riot series, which is Gigi. Fun fact, I never got Gigi organically through one of the blind boxes. I've had to buy 2 Gigi figures secondhand because I just literally cannot get anybody else but Poppy and Frankie, which I love those girls, don't get me wrong, but Gigi's my favorite. She's just everything. I love it. So I drew a picture of her playing bass, and she just looks iconic. So yeah, this is the Gigi figurine. The next figure that I drew was Hasi Poo Poo, which is another one of my favorite blind boxes. I only have one, but I decided to draw one that I didn't have because this one's so cute. It has a little fluffy costume on that looks like a penguin, and he's just so cute. I don't think I did him justice in this picture, but those dolls are just adorable. Chef's kiss. Next, we have Melinta. I do have one Melinta, but Her outfit is not giving, so I looked up a different Melinda and drew that one instead. This one looks like she's going on a picnic, and I just thought she was so adorable, so I added her next. I decided to color the background of this with this like really bright yellow-orange color. Was that the move? Probably not. I just felt like it needed something to make everything pop, so I chose one of the brightest colors I could find. Looking back on it, maybe it's a little bit much, but I really don't care. I love my little figurines. I love trinkets, if you couldn't tell. And, yeah, this is the finished drawing. All right, and that concludes today's video. So this week we created a screenshot, we created an I Spy, we created relaxation, and we created with. Thank you so much if you watched the whole video this week. I really appreciate it. I also would just like to give a shout out to the fact that I have officially launched my website. So if you are interested, you can shop some of my artwork on there at lissynick.com. I will leave a link in the description if you're interested in checking it out. I have some stickers, I have some keychains, and some other fun goodies. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.